This video, I'm going to be showing you two more ways that you can adjust the color in your picture in Photoshop. One way I'm going to show you how to do this is by adjusting the tonal ranges with the Levels tool, and I'm also going to show you how to work with the color balance. Let's start with our tonal ranges. Essentially, what you are going to be doing when you adjust with the Levels tool is you're going to adjust the amount of black and white pixels possibly, or even the amount of red, blue, and green that you have in your picture. So if you go up to your adjustment panel and you look where it looks kind of like a graph that is right next to your sun, that's your levels adjustment layer. So if we click on that, you can see that we get this graph of essentially what that is our color distribution. So you can move these different arrows and slide them along to see what effect it gives you. So right now we are on the red, green, blue section, which means it's graphing out all the colors. So if I move some of my arrows here, I'm going to be redistributing some of my black and white pixels, redistributing with some of the colors that I have. And you can see that as I move it to the left, it's getting lighter. And as I'm moving my arrows to the right, it's getting darker. So I'm redistributing some of those black and white pixels with my red, green, blue arrows. Now, if I go up to the drop-down box here, I can choose an individual color. So I'm going to click red just to show you that you can also adjust how much of one tone of color. So maybe you're looking at your reds and you want to bring the red out a little bit more. You want to take it down a notch. So if I bring my arrows to the right, I start taking out some of those reds, so you can see that those blues and greens are starting to stand out a little bit more until I move them over, and then you take almost near all the red out of that picture. Now, if I want to do the opposite, I can move my arrows to the left, and it's going to start bringing the reds out in that picture until I'm really have a very bright red look there. And you can do that with every single one of the colors. I can do that with green, where I take away my greens and the blues and purple, or the blues and reds stand out to make purple. I can bring out my greens to where I have a green colored picture. And of course, I can do that with my blues. So I can take away here for my blues, or I can bring my blues up a lot. So you can play with those colors and adjust those to really bring out the colors that you want. Maybe create a mood with a different color, but that is always an option. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to adjust the color balance. So color balance is kind of similar to the levels, where you can bring out one color more than the other, but it's just a different tool that you can use to do that. So when you do this, come over back to your adjustment panel and look at the tool that kind of looks like a scale. So it's in the middle row, and go ahead and click on that. And now, instead of those a little bit more complicated looking graphs, we have a scale bar that's balancing out between our blues and our reds, our magentas and our greens, and also our yellows and our darker blues. So if I move my bar to the right, you're going to see that more of the reds are going to come out in the picture. And then in contrast, as I move to the left, the more of the cyan comes out in the picture. And the same happens if with my other bars, move more towards green, it gets more green, more towards magenta, it gets more magenta. And of course, as I move more towards blue, it's going to be more blue. And then the yellows are going to get brought out if I go to the left. So those are ways that you can bring out those colors individually as well. So if you feel more comfortable using some of these scroll bars, they are a little less intimidating, then this is a way to try to balance out some of those colors as well. But you can use a combination of messing with your tonal ranges with levels and also the color balance to achieve the color that you want inside of your picture.